Ask a random sample of people to name the history makers of World War II, and you can pretty much predict their answers. First on the list will be Adolf Hitler, who made history for all the wrong reasons. Then next, it could well be Sir Winston Churchill, with his characteristic V for victory sign and large cigar. Such luminaries as Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery, fondly known to his men as Monty, General de Gaulle, and President Franklin D. Roosevelt are all likely to be in the top 10, along with Hitler's henchman Herman Goering and the Desert Fox, Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, as well as Italy's fascist dictator Benito Mussolini. Whether fighting for good or evil, each of these men had a larger-than-life persona, and although Hitler's ruthlessness as a dictator kept the Nazis in line, the Allies needed to work together by more democratic means. The task of diplomatically leading these undoubtedly great, but not always easy characters when it mattered most, fell to affable American Dwight D. Eisenhower, who certainly deserves to be called a history maker of World War II. Eisenhower, although perhaps quieter than his more flamboyant counterparts, combined diplomacy and military know to get the job done, and the fact that he inspired enlisted men, civilians on the home front, five-star generals, the French and the British to all pull together was an incredible achievement. The fact that he then went on after World War II to become the 34th President of the United States of America between 1953 and 1961 only highlights further just how much of a force Eisenhower was to be reckoned with, even when he'd already served his country so well and was past what many would consider to be retirement age. Watching Eisenhower comfortably chatting with his men during some of the darkest hours of World War II, he is without doubt a familiar figure, but his story began more than half a century earlier, on the 14th of October 1890. David Dwight Eisenhower was born to a German-American family in Denison, Grayson County, Texas. They were of Pennsylvania Dutch descent, and shortly after the future President of America was born to David Jacob and Ida Eisenhower, they moved to Abilene in Kansas. Although given the name David Dwight, the third of 7 sons, it seems to have been switched to Dwight David after his time at West Point Military Academy. Ironically, this particular Eisenhower was already known as Ike, a nickname that his mother disliked and had at one time or another been applied to all of her 7 sons. It had stuck from Dwight's school days, when older brother Edgar had been Big Ike to his Little Ike. Despite being pacifist.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?